Welcome to another episode of Duck's Electronic Repair Bench.
Good afternoon, YouTube. I am here with you on this Monday afternoon to bring you yet another video on the DC panel. This is actually going to be the first one where we kind of plan things out a little bit on where these devices will be sitting in my box and how the meters will be mounted and the circuit board, things like that. You have to take a little time to plan this because otherwise it's not all going to fit. And you know, you kind of want it to fit. Go all the trouble of planning this to do this, and then it doesn't work, and that'd be kind of a bummer. So I thought that we would take a look at the box and see what kind of room we do have. I think, you know, just from rough estimates, I think there's plenty of room for everything. But like I said, I think it would be best to get the maximize the area to be used. I do believe that would be best, in my opinion. And how I'm going to do that is to take one of these circuit boards and see what it's going to take to make it fit into the box. So right now, as it is, that's interesting. That does fit. Doesn't fit great, but it does fit. I can see right there, it looks to me like the will have to be cut off. Say right on that line. I think you can see that line right there. I think that's probably a good place to cut it. And that's going to be the area that we can use for the project. But I think you can see that'll work really good. Now I think what I'm going to do is try to put meters. Where's my meter? Meter here. I think I'm gonna let me do the other camera real quick because I think it would work out a little better me trying to raise everything up to the other camera. Okay. Alright, now here's our box. Like I said, this is what I want to do is I want to put 1 meter here, and I think I'll have enough room to mount the capacitor underneath that, where that'll be out of the way, and it will, you know, like I said, allow me to maximize the area as much as possible. Now this is going to take some, but I think that'll fit in there just ever so nicely. And that'll go in there. Even if I had to put it all the way down there, it would work just fine. But you know, it's going to be mounted on the top, so there'll be plenty of room there. And I think my when my bridge rectifier comes in, it can be mounted down there as well. And everything else is fit close enough to the on the board to where I won't have to worry about any of that interfering with it. I'd like to go ahead and clean this up a little bit and maybe try to set that in there as it's going to actually be, instead of guesstimating like I have been. I am doing this right close to the time when I have to get the girls. I had to wait on my landlord's repairman, handyman, whatever you want to call it, to come and fix my door. There's been a gaping hole underneath the door for a few days because the weather stripping came off the bottom of the door. So he has got that fixed now, so that's a good thing. These were getting kind of cool nights and stuff like that. So, alright, let me go ahead and let's see where we're going to put this. Just slide it in there real quick like, and I want to see what kind of area I can put it in as far as where exactly it will fit, which one of these slots I'm going to have to use, etc. I'm thinking that one right there is pretty good. I could probably go one more if I put the yeah, I'm going to try that. Let me try that. Put this over here and see if we can go one more. Yeah, see, now that works even better. Now, as far as the meter goes, I don't know if that meter is going to have enough room to get in there, that small space, so I think I'd probably be better off on the other one. Yeah. Let's go this way again. Yeah. See, now the meter's got a lot more room to go in there. And I think what I plan on doing is, like I said, put the meters, the voltage meter here, put the ammeter here, and should allow me enough room for the rest of the stuff, I think. But I think what we'll do is one thing at a time. Again, try to get it as best I can. So I want to take this over this way just a hair, go up this way a little bit. See, I want that right on the bottom, and I want the close to the edge as well. I think I can go over one more. If I can find the right holes. Yeah, see, now that will put it right exactly where I want it. It's right to the bottom and it's right to the side. So that will work really nice, because I'm going to use this one here. And let's see how that looks. Oh yeah, that looks really nice. That's going to work out just fine, I think. I think I'm actually hitting the rib on that upright thing there. That shouldn't be a problem though. Alright, so that's going to be that, like I said. And again, let me get one of these out. Let's see where the right one. Yeah, this is the right one. Let me get this out and see exactly, because see, the lip of the lid is raised up a little bit above that, so it's not going to be even with that. It's going to be up a little bit above that. So okay, I think this is the deeper of the two anyway. Maybe, I'm not really sure, but even if I put this right on the edge, it will go down. You see, it's right on. It's on the actually on the capacitor there, and you can see how far down it is. So with that up above it, that much more, that's gonna bring it way up in here. And besides that, it's gonna be in the middle, so it will be more here, like here. So there should be plenty of room there. That should work out fine. So I'm going to go with that, and that's where I'm going to put my try to draw a center mark here on the top, and then I can get the center of the top itself, and then I'll be able to cut out the hole when I center it, measure it out from the center. So that will work out really well. See, what I'm going to do here is bring this here, and again bring it here. Give me a mark here on the center, and once I do that, I can mark the other center, get the measurements I need for the meter itself, put them in there, and start cutting on that top. But that's what I want to do. So the other one, let's see if we can get this other one figured out too, a little bit anyway. The other one will be basically right there. So I'll have 2 meters. I'll have, I wish I could get the other meter out. It's not a big deal, I guess. So that will be the other one. And like I said, I haven't decided yet whether I want to put the binding post up and down or across. I haven't decided yet. That may depend on where my fuse holder and my switch. Oh, by the way, before I forget to mention it, I did order a different switch. The little mini switch that I have is only a 6 amp switch, and I'm gonna have a 10 amp fuse in this thing, so I'm thinking I need a little bigger switch. I found a better deal actually on the switch. I'll be able to use the other one that I bought, no problem, but the one I bought is just a dedicated 3-pole single throw, and I like that better than I did the double throw action of the mini switch. So that will come in handy, and it's been ordered and it's on its way. Less than $6 for that, so that's good. Okay, I'm going to take a break here now. I think it's time to make plans to go get my granddaughters, and once that's done, I will hopefully come back and do some more on this. There's a possibility that I won't. You guys know how the girls are. So let me turn this off. I'm gonna cut, like I said, I'm gonna cut this down quite a bit, and I'm trying to do this as step one, basically, of you guys who want to see this step by step on this, and that's what I'm gonna try to come up with. And this is going to be part one, or whatever, step one, whatever you want to call it. Basically, like I said, you gotta plan this stuff, and you can't just throw it in there unless you've got a bigger box. But the box I have, I wanted to get efficient as possible. So that's that. So you guys hang in there, and I will be back shortly. Morning YouTube. Back with you on the. It is a day later than when I started this. I got busy last night, and well, actually yesterday afternoon after I picked up the girls. It was a kind of a mixed up day because Lexi had to be dropped off at work a little earlier than usual. She usually goes in at 5, so yesterday was a 4 o'clock day, so that kind of makes everybody's schedule tick up about an hour. And so, as it happened, we just didn't get much done. I did spend some time here at the bench while Callie was cooking, but I didn't really get to, you know, do much videoing. In fact, didn't get any done. So, there's the circuit board I've started. That'll be the position of the capacitor. So I do all that. That's planned out pretty good, and so I'm not going to go back into that too much because we already talked about that. My bridge rectifiers, I just checked online, and it does look like they will be in tomorrow. They are in Indianapolis as we speak, but they didn't quite get there early enough for the truck to come down from Indianapolis to Seymour. I think they didn't get there till about 9 o'clock, but anyway, they will be here tomorrow, pretty sure. I thought I was going to have my battery clips today, but the guy that sold these to me on eBay lives in Indianapolis, and normally, you know, you mail something in Indianapolis and I get it the next day because, you know, that's where my mail comes out of, Indianapolis. Anyway, on the tracking, it says it left Indianapolis. I don't know where it went, but it left. So don't know what happened to that. I guess we'll find out later, but don't look like I'm going to get that either today. And that only leaves the what else was there? The new switch, which I just ordered that yesterday, so I don't expect that for a while. On my meter that I bought, it has been shipped out to FedEx. I don't much care for FedEx. Smart Post, I think is what they call it. It takes forever and a day, so, and I don't want to get that. But I did get, let me get on the other camera here. You can see these little diodes here are Zener diodes. Yes, 5 of them. So got those, and that can be arranged some way on the board there. And I also got this switch, but I'm not using this switch. I've already ordered another switch, as I already mentioned, I think. Although this is not as bad as I thought it would be, because it's simple on-off type situation. A lot of these switches have a middle off, and you know, they're simply on, off, and on. But this one's just off and on. So this would do in a pinch if I didn't get that other one, but I think I will. This is only a 6 amp switch though. My fuse is going to be a 10 amp fuse, so I kind of like to have a little bit more more stuff on the switch, because some of these radios that I would be working on probably are going to draw around that 6 amp, and anybody that knows anything about switches, you know, if it's rated at 6 amps and you draw 6 amps, that switch is not going to last too long. So anywho, that's there in case I do need it, and it's there for any other project I want to use it for, I guess. So so I'm really kind of limited on what I can do. I probably could solder this capacitor on. I think I want the negative to be on the inside track, because I think I want to put my rectifier here with the negative side here, and run that way. I think, I'm not really sure exactly how I want to do it. I need to plan that out a little bit better, but and at least I do have a starting thing here. I can go ahead and I can do this. I can go ahead and you know, get my placement for my meters and get those started to cut in. Let's see, I don't know how thick this top is. It's pretty thick. Yeah, it's got these here. Don't know what those are. Sure, there's a use for them sometime somewhere, but I don't really want them in there. And I'm hoping that's going to allow me to. I may have to take those out, cut them out, take my Dremel and cut them out, because I think they may get in the way of what I want to do. I will have to measure it and see, but again, oh, that's another thing. This could be cut off. Let's see, I'm trying to think. This was the one I think it went on. Yeah, like that. Pretty sure. Yeah. So I can cut this off. That could be cut off. This could be measured. See right here, and then find the center here and get that started, and all this stuff can be done, and hasn't been done because I haven't done it yet. I'm a little lazy this morning for some reason. I don't know. I get lazy sometimes. I was kind of trying to figure out exactly how I want to go about cutting this. I thought about scoring it with the utility knife and go from there. I also noticed there's a I think I want that down on the end, on that end, so I want to put the like that. That's how I want to do it. So I'll have the top meter here, bottom meter here, binding post here, and this switch that I'm getting is a lot bigger than this thing here. I mean, that wouldn't take up hardly any room at all. You can see that's not that big, but this one's coming. It's going to be huge compared to this thing. So, and my I think I did my fuse holder thing already. We'll put it back in there and see how that looks. So it's going to fit over here like this, and probably as far down as I can get it, and the switch as far down as I can get that. I want as much room here as I can for my binding post and any wiring that comes in here. The wiring itself will be on this side of the board, These are the solder pads on this side, so components stick through on this side and soldered on this side, and then we will go from there. But like I said, that's where the wiring will be. I'll have to run some wires will have to come back up here for this meter here. May have to put a little extra room here for in the middle or something for wires to go through. Can do that as I have to do it. Like I said, this is the planning that goes into this stuff. These are the binding posts. I'm trying to see how big they're going to be as far as they'll be mounted. Whoops. They'll be mounted on the top piece there, so they'll go up in there like that. And so that's where I'm at, what I'm doing. I didn't mean to drop off my deal yesterday, but like I said, I was up against the clock about going and get the girls, and so I wanted to get this done, get this wrapped up, and I think we're done here. Try to cut this down a little bit and show you what I'm up to. But this is just the planning stages for this box. You know, you just can't, you know, I would like to just be able to start putting things in and going willy-nilly, you know, but when you have a limited space to work with, you're kind of having to plan as best as possible to get that in that space and still leave a little bit of room for wiggle room, I guess you would call it, for whatever. And also, you know, I hadn't really talked about this much, but this is going to have to be mounted against the board over there on the back of the thing, and I'm not sure exactly where I'm going to put screws, but probably one on the top, one on the bottom is what I'm looking at. I think it is going to go up and down, and as opposed to sideways, because of the meters, mostly because of the meters, but there is plenty of room there for that. And it fits in there really nice and snug. I like the way it fits in there. I'm going to try to, I may go ahead and put it off to one side of the, you know, I need to get this on camera. Alright, now you see I've got it off on one side of the, next to this plug here, or receptacle. And instead of putting it in the middle, that's a waste of space. I don't care, you know. I think if I put it here, it doesn't have to be right up against it, but pretty close to right up against that. And I can put another one in there. And I do have plans for another outlet like this. And the outlet I'm planning is going to be for the high voltage DC. And we're talking, you know, 400, 500, 600 volts output here. I plan on using the output of the variac for that, and a doubler or tripler circuit that will give me, like I said, the 400, 500, 600 volts. The output of that AC, or the variac, is 150 volts AC, so I think I can make that into 600 volts fairly easily using a tripler. I can't, it's hard to say. But anyway, another one of these boxes would work fine right there as that. It would be probably the same basic thing, 2 meters and 2 binding posts, and then probably less circuit board, because really there's not too much to a tripler or doubler. Just a couple capacitors, a couple diodes. And it's really an elegant way of making high voltage. So that's the plan on that. And so I got everything covered now, I think, that I want to do. So that's what I'm going to be doing, where I'm going to be mounting that, and that will be cool if I can get all this done. And the reason for the high voltage DC is for old radios. I don't know if you've watched people like Jim Lindenez. I use him as an example a lot because he covers a lot of space that I'm going to cover. And what I mean is he uses a power supply for that. He has a heat kit. IP32, I think it's. I don't remember the exact number of it, but it's a high voltage DC supply for just doing that, and it basically, excuse me, it basically is used either as a substitute on the high voltage, or for what he uses it for is to check out old radios to see if there's any leakage current, things like that. And that would be perfect because you have the control of the variac, and you just turn it up and you watch the current, and if it goes up too much, you know it's got too much leakage on it, stuff like that. So it will work out real nice, I think, for that. This was my plan all along for the variac, and how I wanted to do this. And I may not use this. I may have, like I said, I've got the power supply that Bobby sent me, and I've got a thing now I'm going to use for the case. I do have the case. I don't have it made. I'm going to make it though. I've got an old space heater, electric space heater, that I'm using for the case. I'm going to cut that down and fabricate basically a custom case for it, and that will be, so that part is done. As far as having it, I don't have it made, like I said, but that shouldn't take a long time. Let's see, what else is there? Also, another power supply that I kind of like to build is the one that Carl's building, Sky Carl. He kind of alluded to it in his video yesterday. It's I think he said $10 is all it cost, and may look into that because I think that'd be kind of a neat thing to have. I just like building these things, and I may not use any of them, but I kind of like building them. So just one of the things I wanted to do. I like the AM/FM radio kit he had. That was kind of neat. I think I'd like to have one of those. But anyway, this is where I'm at and what I'm doing. And so I do have the DC panel, and I can't hardly move anywhere without touching it. I have the panel all outlined now. I think I have a good idea of how I want to lay it out, and it's just a matter of implementing that now. And I kind of like to have all my parts here because I want to lay this out to where I can just basically put all the components on it and go from there. Now the Zener diodes, I think, looking at this, I think they're going to go in here, this area here. Again, now this is going to be this way. I keep putting it the wrong way, but so the rectifier will be here. Zener diodes will be laid out here, I do believe, across this way, and they will be laid out in such a manner as they will be start here and it go through and around like that. I don't know if you've even seen it. Around like that. That's how I'm going to lay them out. And there's going to be 4 of them. I know I bought 5. But I think I'd rather have the 48 volts instead of the 60 volts. I think that would be better because, like I said, I know 60 volts won't blow up those caps, but I just soon have a little margin of error, and I have nothing that I could even think of remotely going to need over 50 volts. So, like I said, I think that's what I'm going to do is use 4. That saves a little room too on the circuit board, so we're always all about that. And I can do that. I can put the that in, and once I get the rectifier, I can put that in and get all this stuff mounted and soldered in, and get this cut and get that done. And so this will go pretty quick once I get what I want done with it. And to cut this, what I'm going to do is score that white line right there. You guys seeing this? This white line here, I'm going to score that with the utility knife, and then I should be able to just break this. I think that's how I did the last one, and it worked out fine. But anyway, that's where we're getting. I'm going to try to go ahead and get this all uploaded to the computer and edit it out a little bit. And this is going to be, like I said, part 1 of the DC panel how-to step by step, what do you want to call it? So that's what we're going to be doing, and I think hopefully this time tomorrow maybe I can start putting this stuff together, hopefully. Also for Ron, see, I have your meter packaged up ready to mail. I just don't have the label on it and haven't dropped it off yet, but I do have it ready to mail. So that was a pretty big step. So like I said, I should get that done by tomorrow. I think it'll be in the mail to you. Probably get it by the weekend, I think. So sorry for the little delay, but you know how I am. I'm a very big procrastinator and believer in procrastination. So anywho, I hope it doesn't bother you too much. Like I said, this is where I'm at, what I'm doing, and you guys have a fantastic day. It's started off here as a little rainy. I heard the lawnmower guy out there mowing the grass, and at the same time I heard a big clap of thunder and heard the rain on the roof. So he kind of got interrupted, but he did finally get done with his job. So I think the rain has stopped now, and it's almost. I've seen the sun try to come out, but it hasn't yet made it. So I'm looking for the warmer temperatures today. I think I do believe WeatherBug said 70 something today, and I'm hoping for that. So anywho, you guys have a great, fantastic day. I really appreciate you watching. I do appreciate you watching, and I'll see ya.